Welcome back to my channel, and it has been a minute since I've tuned into tarot. We're gonna switch things up a little bit today though and do what's called a pick a card reading. Now, if you've never done a pick a card reading, the way it works is I have 3 individual piles of tarot cards here beside me with gemstones placed on each one. So we've got the pyramid, the sphere, and the cube. And so the idea is that you tune in to maybe take a minute, pause the video, but take a look at each gemstone. Select the one that most resonates with your own intuition today, and that will indicate the pile of cards or the reading, presumably, that is meant for you. At which point you can take a look at the description below where I have timestamps posted where you can jump to your specific reading, and that reading will explain the next 6 months, either circumstances, situations, events, connections, or specific people that you may encounter or experience over the next 6 months. This reading is relevant for anyone regardless of zodiac sign and regardless of when you might find this video. So if you come across this video in a year from now or even a decade from now, whenever it might be, whenever this video finds you, the divine timing strikes and you are meant to receive the messages that follow. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, for those of you who chose the pyramid pile, then this reading is for you. So I did kind of a pre-read before I hit record, and I have to say this is a really beautiful reading, but also I got really emotional too. So I hope I can kind of keep things contained while I go through this. But for the first month, again, this is kind of a 6-month trajectory, regardless of when you come across this reading. It will be relevant for you. But more or less in the beginning of this 6-month trajectory, we've got the Ace of Swords. So this says to me that you're going to be really kind of engrossed in learning new skills, possibly starting a new educational program or some kind of certification, or you're getting a license for something or in school. But you're really going to be honing your skills and having a lot of drive and being really focused and with a clear mind. It'll require a lot of logical thought process, but you're going to have the drive and the ambition and the ability to focus and apply yourself during this first month, and probably throughout the next 6 months. But this is a time for new beginnings, and usually a new beginning in something that requires a lot of mental acuity and logical thought process. So you'll have that clear mind to help you, and the support of the universe really to help support you in whatever new beginnings or new ventures you're trying to establish. In the second month, we've got the Sun. So this is bringing happiness and joy and pleasure and just sort of this inner child almost coming out. So whatever it is that you are applying yourself to in the first month, it's bringing you a lot of happiness and joy. So it's not going to feel heavy. It's not going to feel like you have to pump yourself up for these things. Whatever it is that you're trying to apply yourself to is going to come easily, and it will derive a lot of happiness and joy in your day-to-day activities. It's almost, I kind of get the sense that you're becoming the person or doing the things or putting yourself in situations that you wanted to many years ago, like as a child, that whatever happened in your past that created sort of these blocks or these stories that you told yourself over and over the years, that prevented you from attempting these endeavors or whatever it is that you're applying yourself to or studying. It's almost like you felt blocked previously, but now you've sort of worked through some of these childhood traumas or done some shadow work or just processed a lot of these emotions, and you've kind of pushed through this wall almost. And so you're able to exude and sort of step into the person you always wanted to be even back then, and now you're able to do those things finally. So it's like you're sort of tapping into your inner child in some way. even though it's, years later. But it's beautiful. And with the sun, obviously this is more support from the universe. It's happiness, it's fun, it's joy, it's lightness of being. It's beautiful. So yeah, whatever you're learning is definitely going to bring a lot of happiness and joy. So that's awesome. Now in the third week, we've got the Seven of Cups reversed. So this is actually bringing sort of like a clarity of mind. It's revealing a path for you. With the Seven of Cups upright, usually this is sort of an overwhelming amount of choices. So with the reversed, it's sort of like narrowing it down. Like you're finally narrowing down the one choice or the one cup that's meant for you. And so it can bring a lot of clarity. It certainly eliminates sort of this vacillation energy where you can't decide. It's like, should I go this way or that way? Should I do this, that, the other thing? It's providing you a very clear path that it's almost like you have a really strong connection to spirit, and whatever messages or signals or signs and synchronicities that you're encountering, you're following those signals. And you're doing, if you're getting these drips of insights coming into your mind on like what you should do or how you should set things up or what the next step is in order to achieve, what you want, you're following it. You're not disregarding it, and you're not kind of vacillating about whether or not you should do it. You're seeing it as a sign and a signal and the next step that you need to do in order to achieve your ultimate dreams, your mission. And so, so I see this as just kind of really narrowing your path in a good way, in a way that's very clear and concise, and you know what to do, and you do it, and there's a lot of achievement here, and just a lot of clarity of mind, achievement, applying yourself, focus, but also fun and happiness and joy. So it's like this is a beautiful reading so far. Now in the next month, and this will be like month 4, we do have the Queen of Cups reversed. So I think this is what was kind of bringing out some emotions in me, because the Queen of Cups reversed can be very emotional, or can kind of put the heart above the head, where you're thinking with your heart instead of logically with your head. But how I'm seeing it is almost like, because you're so focused on your goals right now, you're sort of finding that your ability to be nurturing, your ability to be loving and open and affectionate is being tested right now. And so if you are in a relationship, this might be a situation where you have someone who's withdrawing their love. So you are withdrawing your love, or perhaps your partner is, because they're not feeling like they're receiving enough love from you because you're so focused on your goals, or your family may be feeling neglected at this time. So it'll just be really important. And so, this is where I got kind of emotional. It'll just be important for you to communicate with the people in your life about what you're doing and what's important to you. And not that they're not important to absolutely your family, your partner, the other people in your lives, your friends. They're important, but if they love you, they'll also support you in your journey to achieve what you want to achieve. So there may be a possible breakup here. I kind of see that, but also it just might be a situation where you hit a little bit of a rough patch where you just need to communicate and explain that you love your family, you love your partner, you love your friends, but that you really need this time to focus on your work and being productive. Because even with the Eight of Pentacles, this is a card of being productive and applying yourself and just kind of like nose to the grindstone, and you're chipping away at your work and your tasks and your goals. And I also see money coming to you too, because whatever it is that you're putting out there in the world, people are being attracted to, because then you also have the Empress who's very magnetic and very abundant and very attractive. So I see that whatever it is that you're starting in the next 6 months is going to be very fruitful. And you're also going to have a lot of drive and energy and ambition to achieve your goals and get this thing off the ground, whether you're starting a new business or, again, like in beginning a new educational pursuit of some kind. Whatever you're starting, you're going to have the support of the universe, the energy, ambition, and drive to do it, a clear mind. You're going to be focused. You are going to enjoy it. Most importantly, it's going to bring you happiness and joy and fun and pleasure. And yeah, you might need to work on like balancing your relationships too, while you're also pursuing your dreams. But it will bring you money and abundance, and it's like you're stepping into the highest version of yourself. By the end of the next 6 months, I almost feel like you're gonna feel like a different person. You may feel like a different person now than you were 6 months ago, but like you're gonna go even further. And you can argue that like every 6 months you may not feel like a different person, but I feel like perhaps you've come through a time where you've grown a lot, and maybe there was a little bit of a patch where you felt kind of stagnant and stuck. There is no stagnancy and no stuck energy in the next 6 months. It's going to be growth and expansion and just like honing your skills and excelling. And it's just a really awesome 6 months that are happening. Also, the Empress might indicate fertility. So there's a possibility that pregnancy might happen at the end of the 6 months. So keep that in mind, whether or not you want that to happen. So yeah, but very fertile at the end of the 6 months. But I mean, the whole next 6 month trajectory looks very, very positive and busy, but productive. So wow. If that resonated with you, do comment below. Again, this is relevant for anyone of any zodiac sign for the next 6 months, regardless of when you find this video, whether it's tomorrow or a year from now or 6 years from now, whenever it might be. I hope you found this helpful, and thanks for tuning in today. Take care. Okay, if you picked the sphere pile, this reading is for you. So we start out with the first month with the Devil reversed. So don't let this card scare you, because the Devil reversed is actually a great card of healing. It's indicating that you are disconnecting, or you have disconnected from a toxic attachment, which could be a relationship that you've detached from, a toxic relationship of some kind, an ex that you weren't able to shake previously, but now you are. It could be some kind of lifestyle, negative lifestyle habit, like smoking, or your diet, or drinking, or some kind of dependency that you're detaching from as well. But I see it as a healing card, and I see it as a card of gaining strength and power and being able to walk away from things that no longer serve you. So that's a beautiful way to start out the first 6 month trajectory here. Now in the second month, we have the Four of Wands reversed. So this usually indicates some kind of a hiccup or struggle within the home front, whether it's with your family or your partner. It could indicate divorce, possibly. So perhaps you are separating from a toxic relationship, like I said earlier. I mean, it could just indicate that your foundations are weak, whether that's like a literal manifestation, like you need to attend to your home, or maybe certain repairs that need to be taken care of in your home. This is a good time to do that, like leaky faucets, or holes that need to be patched up in the walls, or whatever it might be. It's a good time to sort of rebuild, strengthen your home, take care of the things that are sort of calling to you to address. Clear out the clutter, possibly, burn some sage, smudge the area, clear the energy. But also, if it is a divorce or some kind of engagement that's broken, usually the Four of Wands upright can be a halfway to marriage card. So in the reverse position, it's saying that, that's probably not going to happen. So perhaps this is an engagement that's getting broken at this time. Or it could just be from releasing or detaching from or disconnecting from the toxic attachments. It could just be like a rebuilding energy where you're sort of deconstructing your dependency on certain substances. Perhaps, like, where does that really stem from in your past? And maybe you're working with someone where the King of Pentacles comes in. Maybe this is an expert in a field like psychology or psychiatry, or a therapist, some kind of alternative mode of therapy as well, with someone like an energy healer to really deconstruct the trauma that may be residing within you that is causing you to depend on these certain substances. And so there's this sort of like rebuilding energy. It's like you're deconstructing and then you're rebuilding from the ground up a stronger foundation. Now, the King of Pentacles can also be someone who spends a lot of time at work, is very focused on money and finances. You may be working with a financial advisor potentially, or a tax accountant, or especially if you do get some kind of, if you're going through a breakup, often a tax accountant or some kind of financial advisor is part of that process. But sometimes this can speak to someone who's so focused on work and so focused on making money that they sort of neglect the rest of the people in their lives and the other areas of their lives. So this may ask us to just check in with our loved ones and make sure they're doing okay. And it's just sort of a wake-up call for us too, to just not be so singularly focused on our work, and to also take into account the people in our lives, and readdress our connections to our human-to-human connections, because those are very important to keep and to nurture. And let's not lose sight of those people, even if you are going through something kind of traumatic like a divorce or whatever it is. When you're working through, especially detaching from or disconnecting from these toxic attachments, it can be a very kind of arduous, trying, energy depleting process. And maybe you're trying to distract yourself actually through your work, which is one strategy, I suppose, but not at the detriment of everyone else in your life. So do try to hold on to your human-to-human connections and nurture them and check in with them. I think that's one thing that this card is telling us in the third month. Now, in the fourth month, we have the Knight of Swords reversed. So this is bringing in a slowdown. So if things have been moving pretty quickly up until this point, things are about to slow down, and you might even feel like you're walking through sludge a bit. Often when I see the Knight of Swords, I get the sense that this is telling us to plan. We may not have the energy and the drive and the ambition to take care of certain tasks that need to be done. And so this can be a good time to just make an action plan, kind of write out the steps and write out the thing, like a list of what you do need to accomplish and how to accomplish those things, so that when you do get your energy back, you're able to hit the ground running and kind of make it a more seamless process, because things are going to be moving a bit slowly in this fourth month. Now, I almost see this if you are, let's say, trying to lose weight, right? Or release weight. Let's go there. Like maybe that's you're disconnecting from a toxic relationship with food, perhaps, and you're working with the therapist to really get down to the nitty gritty of like what's causing your dependency on food and your obsession with food. And you're getting to this fourth month, and things like maybe your weight's been dropping off like incrementally, and it just feels like it's going so slowly, and the pace of your journey is going slower than you thought it would and slower than you would like, right? But at least it looks like, I mean, if I can jump ahead to the end of the 6 months, like you do get the Six of Wands upright, which is like you win in the end, and you're being celebrated. So just keep that in mind, that it might feel like it's a slow journey and a slow process, but you are going to come out on top. The fifth month, we've got the Page of Pentacles reversed, which can often well, you can see he's sort of losing his grip on that pentacle. So you may be losing some money here, especially if you are going through a divorce or a breakup of some kind. Money might be falling out of your grasp a bit. The page will often bring in news or information, and so, or a message. And so you may be getting news, information, or a message that is not in the most positive light. Like it may not be the answer you wanted, let's say. But what I am seeing is that you may feel like you're losing out on an opportunity or losing out on like losing money, but what you gain in exchange for that, it's almost like a trade-off. So what you gain actually puts you on top. And so you feel like, yes, you have to give up this thing or this amount of money or this opportunity, but what you gain is like this really immense sentimental object. Like maybe you keep the house, or you keep the kids, or you keep the pet, or whatever it is. You feel like whatever it is that you end up with in the end is like ultimately you win. It's the pinnacle for you. So yes, like I said, it is kind of a trade-off, but you end up feeling like you succeed in the end, or you win. So we'll take it, right? But I am kind of thinking like sometimes with the Page of Pentacles, if you are on a weight loss journey, you may feel like you're losing out on certain opportunities, like eating out at restaurants, or indulging in the foods that you used to indulge in, or certain parties if you're trying to quit alcohol. Maybe you're not able to imbibe or go to all these events that you may have gone to otherwise. So you feel like you're kind of losing out, but ultimately you feel so much better living this new life and building up this new person inside of you, building this healthier, happier, stronger. The foundation is there. You're patching yourself up, and you're stepping into your power, and you're being celebrated in the 6th month. So like I said, we will take it, right? So you're on a bit of a journey, but it looks like ultimately you're coming out on top, and you're going to be a better, stronger, happier, healthier version of yourself by the end of it. So those of you who picked the sphere pile, I hope that reading was helpful for you. And if so, give this video a thumbs up, comment in the comment section below, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Okay, and if you picked the cube pile, this reading is for you. For the first month, we've got the 5 of Swords reversed. So anytime you get a 5 card, it's a conflict. So you want to get them in the reverse. So this actually means there's a resolution to the conflict, or some kind of compromise, or usually this is like you agree to disagree and you just kind of drop it and go your separate ways. You also have another 5 coming out in month 5. So 2 5s in the reverse, which is good. But yeah, so usually the 5 of Swords upright is kind of a resistance. So perhaps you've been resisting something for some time, and you're finally able to reposition yourself in such a way to where you allow your wings to kind of catch the draft of current that's moving past you or through you, and you allow it to elevate you. So whatever resolution is happening here, it's pushing you up in some way, or inspiring you, or allowing you to move in a direction that feels like it's providing growth in some way for you. So in the next month, in the 2nd month, you've got Page of Swords, and this is a very exploratory energy, a very curious page. And usually he might be embarking on a new adventure or a new course of study. Usually the swords is sort of a learning indication, or using your mind or your mental acuity or thought process. So it could be that whatever you are resisting may be a career path or an educational pursuit, but then you get an acceptance letter to the college of your choice, and you're now feeling like, whoa, I wasn't expecting to get accepted to that college. And now, because the page will bring in a news, information, or a message, and this is a positive message, it's an emphatic yes. And so you get accepted to this school, and Now it's like, whoa, I didn't even think I could achieve this level of education, and now I can. Now this is available to me, and so it's elevating you in some way. It's elevating your mind. It's allowing you to grow and expand your knowledge, and you have a lot of excitement and energy and zest and curiosity to pursue this. And then you do have the 10 of Wands in the third month, which is indicating difficulties, as it says underneath there. So this is kind of a heaviness. It's like you've got a lot of responsibilities, a lot on your plate. You're working very hard. You're applying yourself, but usually the 10 of Wands indicates that you're coming to the end of a journey. I mean, traditionally. So I see that if you do get accepted into a school or some kind of coursework or a program of some kind, that you're able to move through it very swiftly. But yes, of course, it will require hard work and focus and attention, and it's going to feel very draining to some extent, but you have a lot of excitement and drive to pursue this, and you'll be successful. Now, in the fourth month, we have the 2 of Cups. So at some point along your journey over the next 6 months, you do look like you're encountering either a soulmate, some kind of new partner or relationship is blooming. And it could be a business partnership as well. It could be a new friend that comes into your life, or even an investor. I'm kind of thinking someone who invests in you. But when these two people meet, when you and this other person meet, it's like a meeting of minds. It's a meeting of equals. You bring your cup of love for their cup of love. So there's this reciprocal exchange. It feels very balanced. It feels very clear and supportive. And so perhaps even like if you are attending a college or university or a new educational program or a class of some kind, maybe you meet someone at that class, in your class, that is very significant for your life and right now. Because in month 5, we've got the 5 of Pentacles. And this is bringing a healing and a recovery, usually to some kind of financial hardship, but it also could be indicative of like if you were ill or going through some kind of pain or injury recovery, that you're feeling a lot more mobile and healthy and strong. And perhaps this person that you're connecting with in month 4 is helping your recovery in some way. And then it's interesting, in the last month, you have the 4 of Swords, which is sort of another rest and recovery indication. I often see this card, 4 of Swords, as a break. It's a break from however you've been applying yourself in the recent past. So if you've been going to school and really, learning a lot and really focused and taking tests, and that's kind of been your life, then in month 6, you're able to take a break from that. Maybe you go on vacation. Maybe you go on vacation with this new person that you meet, or perhaps you're taking time and you're usually actually 4 of Swords can be sort of a solitary energy, but I just see it as a break. So yeah, I can see that happening on vacation. I can see potentially you nesting with this new partnership if it's a romantic partnership that's developing. Maybe you're spending a lot of time together and just kind of resting together and living together and nesting and building out, this new life with that person. But overall, it looks like things, you're on a bit of a journey, but you do bring some kind of resolution to a situation or a conflict that ends up elevating you into this new path that's really exciting, albeit hard work, of course, but it's this new adventure, and it brings a lot of new knowledge and information and growth to you. It allows you to connect with someone who's really significant. A soulmate sort of connection doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a friendship, or like I said, an investor, or someone who connects you with something that's important to your life. But I do kind of see it in investor or a relationship, because you've got the Five of Pentacles reversed. So maybe you bring a educational pursuit to a close, or some kind of journey to a close, and then you're able to start a new business or get a new job. And so it kind of brings you out of this hardship, or this meeting. By meeting this person, they're sort of helping to heal your heart or heal your body and elevate you even further. And then you're able to rest and sort of recover from this whirlwind of emotion and energy that's been expended over the last 5 months. And you're able to take this 6 month and just kind of decompress. So if you pick the cube, that is the reading I have for you for the next 6 months, regardless of zodiac sign, regardless of when you come across this reading. Whenever you see this reading, it is meant for you in this moment. And if you found that it resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up, comment below, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.